Back on Inside Tennessee with two men who would like to be the next Register of Deeds in Knox County. As we mentioned, it's a changing of the guard after some 10 years. Karen.
First, I want to follow up quick with Nick. You talked about the operating budget being $77,000 per year or something.
Yes, ma'am.
That's obviously not including personnel.
No, ma'am, that is not. That's how much Knox County citizens, the county commission approves for our operating budget is approximately $77,000. In addition to that, out of the fees that the office collects, our payroll runs about $1 million a year.
So you're averaging, I think, what, 25 or so employees in the office?
I think currently we have 22 full-time employees. The number of employees has reduced over the last 10 years, and our budget has gone down every year that the current register's been in office. Okay. We run a very tight ship.
And, really would you foresee, Steve, having the same amount of employees? Do you need 22 to operate that?
You know, to be honest, not being in the office, I really don't know. But I do question the fact that Nashville has, which does probably a third more business than Knox County, has like 26. So I question the need for it. But I'll be honest, I don't know everything about it until, you find out things when you get in these offices. And I'm going to use Mike Hammond for another example. He went into an office, and once he got there, he started finding all kinds of things that were money that was nobody had really knew about and stuff. So you really don't know a lot of these things until you actually get there and have to experience.
So when you question that, though, I think you have to have an idea. Is it technology that makes one office more efficient than the other? Are we at max efficiency from a technology standpoint?
The Knox County Register of Deeds is very close. That's a great question. Davidson County is doing e-recordings, and that is something that we're looking at currently. Our software provider is finalizing those details, and that will probably eliminate some jobs through attrition.
What would that cost, Nick? That wouldn't be cheap.
Oh, it's very reasonable. Actually, the way the costs are, it's a $3 fee per document on the user side or the submitter side. So instead of paying maybe $15 or $20 for a FedEx envelope, it will come into our office electronically. And then we wouldn't have to scan the document. We could just imprint the recording information on the document. So, like I said, I was instrumental technology back in '99, almost 20 years ago, and we always look for more ways to run the office as efficiently as we possibly can.
And what would you say about the comparison that Steve raised about the Nashville office versus the Knox County office?
Davidson County spent a lot of money up front, and they had a lot of their documents converted over. In the registrar's office, we're going forward with live documents, but also the older documents that are in the back office. We've already scanned back to about 1940s. We scan in 2 books every day into the system, going back in time as well, instead of paying someone else to do that for us and keep that money here in Knox County. And it's very beneficial.
Mr. Hall, you jumped into the race kind of late. It looks like mid-February. Why'd you wait so long?
Well, I mean, it came down to the fact that did I want to run a race for, there are people right here running for mayor. It's been 2 years. Did I want to do that? No. I think I have some name recognition, good or bad. It's there, and it was a thought. This is not something I did real lightly. It's a position actually I thought about for years. And the reason for it is, ideally, like has been discussed, it's not the one that you don't make anybody really mad in the public, because the public, probably 80% of the people have never been to the Register of Deeds office. And so you're not making people mad. You're not setting any legislation or policies or stuff that's going to affect people. So it's a position that definitely before term limits, and I do believe in term limits, you could have stayed in forever because it was sort of under the radar.
Well,
it's not now.
I can tell you'll make people mad if it doesn't get recorded correctly.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I get those phone calls.
That's exactly right. And I tell you another thing that the panel may not be aware of, but the FBI has ruled sovereign citizens as a domestic terrorist. And we see those in the courthouse quite a bit, quite often. And in the Register of Deeds office, we have to deal with them and come up with ways to where they're not putting liens against, you know, good, honest people in Knox County. They may get mad at a judge, or they may get mad at someone else. And so it's imperative that you don't record liens frivolously against other people. The registers across the state have gone to Nashville, and it's now a felony to do that. In the registrar's office, we haven't seen many of those. Most of them are all being recorded in the Secretary of State's office as financing statements. But the registrars across the state won't record those. There was a bill, as a matter of fact, in Nashville this year to do a notification of every lien that's recorded in the office. Well, in the Knox County Register of Deeds office, we probably record over 10,000 liens. And that bill's died in Nashville, and I listened to the chairman of the judiciary the other day, and he said if this bill passes, it would be like putting the state law on its ends.
Steve,
would not be a good thing.
You've been on this show many times in the various races you've been in, and I know that one of the things that you have championed or been worried about was the government taking of personal property. Right. And should that happen, you're going to be tasked with recording a lien for the government. What's your position now on government takings, and would you record those liens if they properly did it?
If it's properly done lawfully, you would have to do it. That's the law. But, you know, I want to go back to something they were just talking about. You know, I've talked to lots of people that are concerned about liens being filed that they are unaware of. And I think there should be some way to be looked at that you could notify these people that liens are they have been placed on their property. Because there's, on all the property documents, there's no places to notify the responsible tax person or something. Because I've talked to lots of people that their mother, for one reason or another, had been in a nursing home, and they didn't realize that there was a lien had been filed against their property. You know, because of the
they're unaware of that. They haven't been out and notified.
Isn't that a function of state law? And I'll ask Nick, because I know you haven't been in the office.
Sure.
Isn't that a function of state law and not the Register of Deeds?
That is a function of state law. And normally, before someone has a lien like that put down against them, they've been served a summons and they've been to the court, and it's a certified copy that comes to us. If we ever do have a sovereign citizen, the law director advises us to record that lien. I can assure you that we always contact that individual. Normally, like I said, it's a law enforcement officer. We had one get his thumb bitten off, or it's a judge or the sheriff or the mayor.
Nick McBride, Steve Hall, we appreciate both of you being here to break down the importance of this office, and best of luck to you in the election.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
We're back with our talk arounds right after this.